Welcome to Translogic. I'm Jonathan Buckley. Over 3,600 exhibitors has made this year's CES the largest ever. Obviously, we can't cover them all, so follow along as we take a look at some of the standouts. It's pretty interesting design, isn't it, as far as a drone is concerned?
Yes, it's a fixed-wing, vertical takeoff and landing drone. Yeah. We're designing it with kind of agricultural and humanitarian purposes in mind.
This would come in really, really handy for the guy that's got huge tracts of land that he wants to send, make sure the fences aren't broken up in the back paddock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The drone industry has kind of been buzzing about agriculture as a possible application for it because that aerial view gets a really efficient way to check out all large spans of land. But until now, a lot of the kind of consumer models aren't as practical because of the short battery life.
You also mentioned humanitarian work as well.
So you can maybe search for people from above, you can search for, problem areas, what have you. Of course, with that payload, we are looking to create something where eventually you'd be able to drop aid into problem areas that you couldn't get to normally.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about numbers because that's what everybody wants to know about with these things. First of all, what kind of range can we get?
So Kestrel can fly up to about 62 miles.
Yeah.
That's the current design spec, so we're really excited about that.
Okay, and how long does the battery last?
Battery lasts up to 2 hours.
Is there an altitude limit on it? How high up can we go?
So we're looking at about almost 2 miles high up, so you can really see a lot. And then when you add on being able to travel 62 miles from that far up, imagine the land that you can
survey.
see.
Once it becomes available to the public, what's it going to cost your average farmer?
We have not released the pricing yet. Stay tuned on that.
Yep.
We're looking at probably a release date for around 2017, so you have to check back in with us then.
Okay. Well, we couldn't wander through the drone marketplace and not stop at this section over here. It's incredible. We walk past it. It's the 184. Now, I know that there's a meaning behind that.
Absolutely. We make it simple. You can see that it sees one person.
Yeah.
It has 4 arms, 8 propellers. Therefore, it's called 184, baby.
184. How difficult was it to achieve getting liftoff with this thing? Because obviously, walking past this, you would assume that this is maybe a concept or an idea, but no, this is actually working, isn't it?
It's a working model. We not only have lifted off the ground, we have gotten people sitting inside of it. We have done our first series of testing around this. Therefore, that we're willing to unveil it today.
Where did the 8 rotors come from? Is that a stability thing?
Yes. So our design experience tells us that with the 8 propeller and with the 4 arms, that's the most efficient way of carrying this off the ground. And with the right size of battery, you can go fly 20 to 30 minutes.
What kind of speeds do you think you could potentially be doing?
Yeah, so our max speed is 100 km per hour.
We're looking at 60 mile an hour?
That's right.
That's impressive.
Absolutely, and the fast charge only takes 25 minutes.
Only 25 minutes and you're ready to take off again?
Absolutely.
Okay, obviously the first thing people are going to start to, because it is new technology and not many people have had the opportunity to sit inside a drone and take off.
Correct.
What kind of fail-safes do we have in place?
So there's 8 different separate engines that's built in, so that's all fail-safe against each other.
Right.
If there's one propeller that failed, the other one would be getting into a fail-safe mode, and they're able to drop you very, very
So we can slow you down
That's
gently.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so you can actually bring it down to a slow stop instead of just falling out of the sky.
Exactly. Safety is really our very, very top concern.
Yep.
And therefore that there's extensive testing that goes into this.
Yeah.
And also making sure that both from a software and a hardware perspective, there's always fail-safe there to make sure that you have a joyful ride.
Right. Is there an altitude limit with the drone, with the 184?
So we can fly up to 500 meters, but we're also working with the FAA and CAA and a lot of other regulators to make sure that they carve out a safe zone for us to fly these vehicles there.
Not only with a manned drone, but with unmanned drones, it really is that grey area right now that everybody's trying to figure out where can we fly these things.
This is the same time as when horse carriage having the first car, right?
Yeah.
We're going through the same revolutionary time. So when people see that how convenient, how easy, and how disruptive that is to our current way of doing transportation, I think the government and the regulators will love to work with us to make sure that we pave the way of making that happen instead of stopping this from happening.
Is it simple to fly? Is it simply just a joystick application kind of way of doing it like you would normally do with a drone, or do you have more flight control.
You don't have to fly this. You're the passenger, baby. So before you get in, you can see that there's a central command system that you pick your destination.
Okay.
And once you pick your destination, get in there, close the door, enjoy the stereo sound and the surface in front of you.
You got a stereo inside?
You're gonna go. Not only a stereo, we got air conditioning in there so you don't get baked in the sky.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely.
When we're talking Segway, we all know that in the world of self-balancing personal transportation, Segway led the way, didn't you?
We sure did. We started in 2002 and with the launch of our first PT. But if you look at where we're at today, this is really an evolution. We wanted to create products that were more in line with general consumers, and that's what you're seeing here at CES for the first time, our lifestyle products for the retail space. We're able to take the best of our innovation and technology and apply it to platforms that are reasonable for the average consumer to purchase.
The popularity of hoverboards is maybe a good thing for the company, but it's also brought a lot of negative attention down as well as far as safety concerns, fires, and then also the big thing of legislation where these types of devices can be used.
It's created a space and a notoriety for the product, but at the same time, it gives us the ability to really showcase what Segway stands behind, which is safety and quality.
I like the innovations that you've put into this product, 'cause there are a lot of innovations. I've had a little ride of it. The learning curve on this thing is super fast. It took me about 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden I was going.
It's a great personal transportation vehicle, but it also has an integration into your smartphone. So you can load an application on your iOS or Droid device and really remote control it. It becomes a dashboard, and you can monitor the usage of the product. You can change the color of the LEDs. You can set the speed if you want to have a parental control. You can set the alarm. Having it integrate with the smartphone, again, part of your life and your lifestyle.
What kind of range are we going to get out of a full charge?
With any range estimations, you got to realize too, it's all based on topography and rider weight. So we tried to estimate the average weight of a rider, and we estimated it 18.6 miles per charge.
What about pricing?
Our MSRP on the Mini Pro is at $1,299, but Amazon is going to offer it at $999 at launch. And we're excited about offering it with Amazon, and we have high expectations.
Well, it's been great being back at CES for another year, and while some of the technologies we've seen haven't necessarily been new, it's fascinating seeing their evolution and how they're working their way into our day-to-day lives. For Translogic, I'm Jonathan Buckley. We'll catch you next time.